Today we will talk about seizures in children. So what is seizures in children? So are the seizures or convulsions are synonyms or they are different? Actually, seizure is an abnormal electrical discharge from brain which manifests as a sudden involuntary time limited alteration in behavior, motor activity, autonomic dysfunction, consciousness or sensation. Out of this motor manifestation is also called as convulsion, which is popularly known to everyone as fits. That is, but seizure is a broader term. It can be clinical as well as pre-clinical or non-clinical as an abnormal electrical activity. There are very few healthcare problems that elicit more distress than witnessing a seizures. It is always terrifying to many. But when the victim is a child and the observer is a parent or caregiver, that terror can become panic. In WHO media report, it is said, the facts are that up to 10% of people worldwide have one seizure during their lifetime. And out of these 10% people who experience seizure, 5% experience it during the first 5 years of their life. So, what is different in children about seizures? So, we teach it separately in pediatrics. First and foremost, it is much more common in children than in adults. Presentation is variable and subtle, more so in newborn. And febrile seizures are unique to childhood, and management differs to some extent in children and mainly so in newborns. Depending as the etiology, its manifestation as well as management differs as per the age. So we can classify it in different age groups, that is in neonatal period, infancy and childhood, and adolescence to adulthood. So first we will discuss what is typical of neonatal seizures. The seizures in any age group are either subtle, clonic, tonic, myoclonic or absent seizures. But neonatal seizures are especially important because subtle seizures are quite common. That is very difficult to recognize. Over 50% manifestation in neonatal period is a subtle seizures, and it is much more common in preterm period than term period. Clonic seizures are more common in terms, tonic seizures only in 5% but much more common in preterm, and myoclonic seizure is the another entity which is present in 15 to 20% of newborns. So what is subtle seizure? Subtle seizures are difficult to recognize. What you can understand by its word, it is whether chewing, lip smacking, orobuccolingual movement, alteration in autonomic functions, blinking, steering look, nystagmus, cycling, paddling, rowing, swimming movements, or changes in color and BP. They can present in any such form. While clonic seizures, they can be focal or multifocal. Focal are primarily seen in term infants with hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy and birth trauma, while multifocal migratory are usually present in metabolic disorders. While tonic seizures can also be focal or generalized, but primarily seen in preterms. Myoclonic is a very typical seizure and very difficult to maintain. It is sudden flexure movement, lightning like jerks, occur in fraction of second, focal or multifocal or generalized. As you know, main aim is to treat the patients, but if you will not recognize them, how will you treat them? So James Baldwin has very rightly said, recognizing a problem doesn't always bring a solution, but until we recognize that problem, there can't be a solution. So let us see. So you see, this is the myoclonic jerk, sudden flexor lightning jerks. These are myoclonic jerks. If you will see, then only you will never forget and recognize it. This is again the another form of myoclonic jerk. Here you will see these flexor movements, sudden jerky movements, this of feet also, of the lower limbs also. This is sudden jerky movements. These are myoclonic jerks. And once you will see it, you will not forget it. You will always recognize, otherwise you will think that it's a normal thing. This is chewing movements. This is also a type of a subtle seizure. Otherwise normal person will think that it is just a child is hungry, but no, this is a form of a seizure, this chewing movement. This is the patient from our hospital only. It is showing this seizure activity. If we will do EEG, you will find the abnormality. This is the paddling and rowing movements of and this cycling movements of limbs. This is also a subtle form of a subtle seizures. We have to treat it, but otherwise there will be damage done to the brain. So you must learn it to recognize it. This is clonic movements, tonic-clonic movements. It started first from the first limb, but secondly it got generalized. This is tonic movements, tonic seizures. Only tonicity is this. This clonic movement is not there in this type of seizures. This is tonic seizures. This is absence seizures. Child is not aware of the environment. We don't. If you do the EEG in this time, in this period, you will find 3 per second spike and wave pattern, which is typical of Petit-Mal seizures or this absence seizures, which is called. Child is not aware what mother is doing to. This is another form of subtle seizure, eye blinking movements, flickering of the eye. This is also a form of seizure, and it is equally dangerous as a full blown tonic-clonic seizures. This occurs because in newborn the synapses and they are not so well developed, so it occurs at this time. So we will come to the next slide. What is the etiology of these neonatal seizures? Once you recognize, you must ascertain what can be the etiologies. The commonest etiology lies between the perinatal period. The commonest cause is birth asphyxia, and second commonest is intracranial hemorrhage, followed by metabolic disorders like hypoglycemia, hypocalcemia, infections, paradoxin dependency, inborn errors of metabolism, structural abnormalities of the brain, drug withdrawal, accidental injection of local anesthetics in fetal scalp, and connectress. Sometimes there are certain mimics are there of seizures. There are certain weird baby movements which we can confuse with the seizures. These are like jitteriness, which is characterized by stimulus sensitive and it's tremor like, but it can be suppressed physically. While we cannot suppress physically seizure, if we want to stop physically, we cannot stop seizures, but jitteriness we can stop. Another form is apnea of prematurity. If apnea is due to seizures, it will be usually associated initially with tachycardia, while the apnea of prematurity of any non-neurological etiology is associated with bradycardia. So what are the etiologies during, we have discussed the etiology in neonatal period. What can be the etiology of seizures in infancy and early childhood? The commonest cause of seizures in childhood is simple febrile seizures, followed by neurological infection, epilepsy, metabolic causes, space occupying lesion, vascular causes, or miscellaneous like hypertensive encephalopathy, or others are post-infectious, post-vaccinal encephalopathy, or drugs or poisons. But in childhood also there are certain conditions that mimic like seizures are breath holding spells, syncope, pseudo seizures, night terrors, nightmares, dystonia, and cardiac disorders. Out of this, breath holding spell is quite commonly mistaken as seizures. What happens in breath? It's a behavioral disorder. Actually, it is not seizure. What happens if the child is got upset with something and starts crying excessively, and which ultimately leads to a forced expiration and apnea and stoppage of breathing or apnea, which ultimately child develops a generalized cyanosis, which is followed by a seizure like movements. But if you pinch in between the child, his breathing will return and child will be normal. And if we go for electroencephalographic finding, it will be normal. So it further enforces that it is a normal thing, but not it's a behavioral disorder, but not seizures. It is rare before 6 months and peaks about 2 years and abates by 5 years old. And just treatment is needed is parental counseling. So how to diagnose seizures? It's like any other disease. It's a good history taking and physical examination, followed by investigations like blood glucose, calcium, magnesium, electrolytes, serum bilirubin. If needed, lumbar puncture as indicated, always indicated in neonates, but if there are findings of neck stiffness, we can always go for in any age for lumbar puncture. Then we can go for electroencephalography, which sometimes show electroclinical dissociation, which is characteristic in newborn period. Then if other causes are suspected due to some other features, we can go further investigation for inborn errors of metabolism. Management of seizure is always, we have to remember A, B, C in any case. Maintain airway, breathing, circulation. Don't ever forget the glucose estimation and calcium, serum calcium management. If there is hypoglycemia and hypocalcemia, they have to be managed. And then followed by intravenous anti-epileptic drugs. As per age, the preference differs. In newborn period, phenobarbital is the first choice, but in older children it is fosphenytoin or phenytoin, and sometimes we have to give benzodiazepine like lorazepam or levetiracetam, and if needed, still not controlled, we can give valproic acid, and many other anti-epileptics are there. This we can take as a separate topic later. Thank you.